You know what I've realized after watching that cross counter video and thinking about fighting game content? The one thing that I've realized to me that's the most important about creating, and the biggest thing that an audience will immediately pick up on as someone who creates stuff, is if you love what you're making. It's like, it seems like it's something that you would just think makes sense. But if you're doing anything and you're creating, and people, they could just feel when you don't love what you're making. They can totally tell when you're doing something you don't want to do. It's so obvious when you're doing something and you're just kind of there. You know, people will see right through you every time. When you actually want to be doing something and when you're actually invested in the stuff you're creating, you are having a fucking blast and you're really digging it. And I think that's such a big difference. Steve and I did the recipe and people watched it and they said, dude, we loved the recipe. That was so much fun, right? All this stuff. The thing is that right before that, Steve and I did an Excellent Adventure with Street Fighter. And our Excellent Adventure with Street Fighter was just as fun as the recipe, I thought. We had a blast. It was super enjoyable. And a lot of people said the only reason the recipe was fun was because they weren't playing Street Fighter V. We would have eventually played Street Fighter V. The reason the recipe was fun had nothing to do with the games we were playing, I think, to be honest with you. Those games were fun and cool, and obviously the audience was interested in watching people learn them. But the reason it was fun is because Steve and I were just fucking chilling and having fun on the couch. The reason it's so enjoyable is not just the game itself. It's because we were having fun playing that game. And even if you were not that interested in the game, watching us goof around and enjoy it, I think was pretty enjoyable, right? We could have played anything and people would have had a great time and watched that, right? The format for that show is awesome. You just need to find something you actually care about. Yeah, Steve is sort of naturally excited about most things, so that helps. But yeah, we were just having fun and enjoying it, and that's the kind of content people would want to watch. For me, I realized when I was creating, I was doing tons and tons of match analysis, and I noticed that my match analysis was doing super well. It was crushing it on YouTube and Twitch, and the more and more I did of match analysis, eventually I was burning myself out, and I was doing it too much. I was doing it much too much. And at that time, there came a moment where I noticed a dip in the amount of people watching my match analysis on both YouTube and Twitch and how much I enjoyed it. Those things were linked together. It got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore and have fun with it. It was too much. So I thought to myself, well, I'm not having fun doing this. My chat room is not having fun watching this. My viewership is less because of this. I should just fucking do something I want to do. So I stopped doing as much match analysis. I started playing other games and I started talking about topics that I thought were interesting. And my content immediately, A, became way better. B, got way more viewership. And C, was just all around clearly better. If for some reason whatever I'm creating stops being fun for me, the most obvious thing that I've learned, especially when I look at videos like that and I think about my own stuff, is to fucking make shit that I want to do, no matter what it is. If for some reason I woke up tomorrow and I decided, you know what, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I want to fucking talk about painting fucking miniatures for D&D or something. I want to just wake up tomorrow and talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I'll turn on my Twitch channel and I'll talk about Dungeons and Dragons. And I might have less viewers than what I normally have, but I'll be having a blast, and eventually other people who will just fucking love it will show up and they'll be having a blast too, right? That's just how it works. You should always just talk about or make shit that you want to make. Just focus on doing shit that you really love and people will resonate with it. Yeah, because no one wants to watch anybody play a game that they hate, right? That's so important for creating. And it seems like something that's so simple to understand, but there is a fear for creators. There is that fear in your head that's like, you know, when I stream Street Fighter or when I stream X or Y game, my viewership is this, and I know that when I play something else, it's going to dip. And there's that fear that I should just play the game that'll get me views because I don't want to lose my viewers. Fuck all that. Do some shit you really like, and you might start back down here, but you can build it back up, and then now you'll be playing something that you really love with less viewership, right? And it'll be fine. It's better for your mental state and the content as a whole to do what you want to do because you'll be happier. The content you'll create will be better. That's just a fact. And people will like it more, as much as they like Juggernips for dropping the 9 months. Thanks very much. Since going from doing what I was supposed to do to doing what I wanted to do, my content has instead 180'd, and I make way more money streaming than I did when I was just focusing on doing analysis. And I'm bringing in way more viewers, and I'm enjoying the stuff I create way more. It doesn't apply to everybody, and I'm sure that it's not always the correct move for most people. But for them too, I think it would probably have been true. because people love them for them, not for the game that they're playing. Street Fighter 4 was the conduit for which they created content and for which people tuned into their stuff, but really people love them for them. It's why if they worked or played on something else, everybody would be down to watch it. Yeah, dude, I mean, I get asked about stuff all the time. You got to be realistic about what you're capable of and what you should be doing, right? I told you guys, I think, right, when BB Tag was announcing its new characters, they had asked me if I was interested in coming on the stream for it. And I told them, dude, I've been playing BB Tag. I think the game is cool. You should absolutely not have me on the stream. Because I don't know any of the characters from any of the games that are in here, right? I told them straight up, I was like, dude, I only know Eunice. If there's any characters you guys are announcing that are BlazBlue, Persona, Ruby, you know, fucking any of these games that are kind of hard, or any of the other games involved in BB Tag, I don't know shit about them, so I can't get excited about them. So as cool as it would be to come on there, you should absolutely have someone else. And they were like, that's a great point, thanks for letting us know, like, just super cool, no problem, like, fucking. And I was like, yeah, dude, you guys have a dope time, I hope the reveal goes well. Easy peasy, right? I think you have to be realistic about what you actually know, right? The first person I think that really asked me what I want to be doing in 5 years was Mike Ross, actually. I think he was like the first person that I can think of in fighting games who sat me down and was like, what do you want to be doing in 5 years? What did I tell him then? I think then I told him that I wanted to freelance as long as I could, and that the only reason I would accept anything else is if there was something that I wanted to pursue or do that was more valuable than my freedom. One of the most valuable things you have as a freelancer is freedom, right? That's one of the best tool sets in my arsenal. I can wake up every day and do exactly what I want to do and create exactly what I want to create, and it's awesome. And the idea of doing anything else means that you lose that freedom, but you gain stability and other resources and tools that you can use somewhere else. Freedom equals waking up at 10 a.m. I'll tell you what, freedom feels good every fucking day, doesn't it?